Oh, remember a couple days ago I did a story about the Republican ex-cop that want to be appointed sheriff, Michael Baker? Well, we got an update. Check it out. We got an update. Exposed Republican cop loses sheriff's race amid allegation. Here we go.
We have an update. A story that we brought you exclusively. Exposed Georgia deputy loses the Gwinnett County Sheriff's race. This was a story we did, alerted via social media.
Yes.
Republican Mike Baker.
Yeah, Michael Baker.
Was running for sheriff in the county of Gwinnett, which is in the state of Georgia. He was accused of using excessive force on a young college student who was sitting in her car at a gas station. We provided the footage, also the investigation revealed he was found liable for the action. Reminder, in the wake of the arrest and investigation, he was suspended from his post. It says, and I quote, this is the conclusion of the investigation when they looked into it, because one of the individuals complained about his actions. This is to advise you that your employment with the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office will be suspended for 2 days. This action is being taken due to violations of the following departmental rules and regulations. Number 1, Chapter 21, Section W, body-worn cameras. Why? He didn't have his body-worn camera
His
on.
body camera wasn't even on. Wasn't running.
2, Chapter 13, Section 9, duty to give name and badge number.
Because he didn't give his name and badge number.
To do that. When you're 3, Chapter 13, Section 55.
Yeah, and the thing about what police officers is scoff about that. It's like, no, your department policy states on the sheet, when you're a police officer, when somebody you are interacting or detaining, or when you arrest somebody, when the person you interact with says, when they request for your name and badge number, you're supposed to provide it. Most cops are pretty good about doing that, but some will try and beat around the bush. I've seen a couple videos where cops will just flat out arrest somebody, call that resisting, when it was not. And you got people like the Fraud Dweeb Network and people in the Thin Blue Library says, oh, that makes you a sovereign citizen or a frauditor. No, it just makes you a woke person who know, like when they ask you for your ID or your name, like, well, I want to know who I'm dealing with. I want to see your credentials. I want to see that badge. I want to know your name.
Of use of force.
Yes.
Which was
used force. Excessive.
The crux of the complaint. They found him liable. And then Chapter 13, Section 42, truthfulness and cooperation.
He was uncooperating. Well, he was lying.
Truthfulness and cooperation with who? Well, the police investigated.
Yes.
So obviously he was not truthful according to them. You were notified on the sheriff's intent to suspend your employment via memorandum August 21st, 2019. Accordingly, your employment is suspended as identified above. For some reason, this did not come to the attention of anyone until it did. I have no idea how. The guy was running for sheriff and obviously was the Republican nominee, and at least should have answered for what we saw in that video. That's it. Gwinnett Sheriff Keebo Taylor won re-election. Democrat Gwinnett County Sheriff Keebo Taylor was re-elected Tuesday night, defeating a bid from the Republican Mike Baker to serve as sheriff. Gwinnett County is one of Georgia's largest and most populous counties. Taylor garnered 237,000 plus votes to Baker's 173,000 plus. It wasn't close. Earlier this year, Taylor's department received a 100% accreditation from the National Commission on Correctional Health Care for its inmate medical services. The accreditation means the care inside the jail scored well on quality and treatment, safety and disease prevention, timelines of care, and personal training. Not easy to do inside of a jail facility. Sheriff Taylor's doing a good job. All right. Was a little more decent news on a day like this.
Oh yeah, I feel connected to this story because I've got family in Gwinnett County. I've spent a lot of time there in the past decade plus. Fast growing
Oh
area
yeah.
of the state, pretty diverse.
Well, it kind of reminds me too, like when Reinker, when Dave Reiner was trying to win government, he was an ex-sheriff, you know, for the Seattle Police Department, and we all know the history about Seattle. You know, Kevin Days, Daniel Otter, and a few others. You know, a police chief. So he was trying to run for mayor. Well, Bob Ferguson ended up beating him, which is good because he's a Democrat as well too.
Ethnically, in terms of the black population, Hispanic population, even still a white population. You know, some white flight notwithstanding. And so, you know, and these are upwardly mobile folks, right? These are some people that homeowners, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, this type of behavior from the Republican candidate could never be tolerated, honestly. And I'm glad to see that go down in the way that it did. But I think Georgia is a very fascinating, especially a place like Gwinnett County, which is like a lot of new people into the state, an influx of new, you know, suburbanite people of a diverse background. And, you know, you can't just take these folks for granted in terms of how they're going to vote or what their core beliefs are. And I think Gwinnett is an example where I think a lot of the future of America is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, places that are, you know, not necessarily cities, but directly outside of cities and hugely populated with a diverse set of people and economic outcomes as well. And so, you know, it's nice to see this sheriff get rebuked and get his ass whooped.
Hell yeah.
It was just interesting that something that egregious somehow was kept private, I guess, until a citizen brought it forward.
You know the old saying, it's like, ding dong, the witch is dead. See ya. All right, I'm out here. Much. Peace out.